listeners. Bill, who is Chef Jacques Pepin playing for?
Marcella Marin of Los Angeles, California.
All right. Here we go, Chef. Your first question. Now, the jockstrap, as we know it, was first developed and sold back in 1874. Specifically, for what purpose? Was it A, to provide support and comfort for men wearing Turkish pantaloons, which were the rage at that time? B, for racing horse jockeys, right, to provide protection and stability because it actually was strapped to the saddle. Or C, for, quote, bicycle jockeys riding on the bumpy cobblestone streets of Boston.
I would say that it would be the Boston jockey there. I've been to Boston.
Right. And the roads are terrible. You're right, Chef. It was, in fact, the bicycle jockey. Yeah. I mean, apparently, there were enough people riding bicycles in Boston and complaining that this company started making these straps for them. And that is why this is true. The company that invented the jockstrap and still sells most of them is called Bike.
Believe me, I know my jockstrap.
This sort of thing never came up during those years with Julia Child, did it?
Never.
Okay. Next question, Chef. Next question. Once the jockstrap was invented, competitors decided to improve it. Which of these was invented in the early 20th century? Was it A, the cast iron jockstrap, B, the electric jockstrap, or C, the opium-infused jockstrap?
Ooh, wow. I think I would go for the opium one.
The opium one. That would be fun, but it was in fact the electric jockstrap.
Electric?
Electric, yes.
That must hurt a lot.
Yeah. I know it comes as a shock, but yes, it was called the Heidelberg Electric Belt. It was supposed to cure insomnia, erectile dysfunction, and other problems via electricity through the jock. All right.
Insomnia?
That is messed up.
Eventually you'd pass out from the pain, and I guess that is a cure for insomnia.
I guess so. Last question. Now, as you know, Chef, progress moves ever forward, and as compression pants have become more popular in the athletic world, jockstraps have to keep up. One inventor recently came up with which of these? A, the bulletproof jockstrap, B, the internet-enabled jockstrap, or C, the combination gun jockstrap?
I would say the first one.
The bulletproof jockstrap?
Yeah.
You are correct, Chef. That is right. Yeah. Well, if you think about it, your standard body armor has a little, this exposure down below. So this guy has invented a bulletproof jockstrap, and you can see him demonstrate its use in an incredibly horrifying video. Bill, how did Chef Jacques Pepin do on our quiz?
2 out of 3. The chef knows what he's doing.
Jacques Pepin is an award-winning chef and TV host. His new book, Jacques Pepin, Heart and Soul in the Kitchen, is out now, along with a new version of his fabulous memoir, The Apprentice. Jacques Pepin, thank you so much for talking to us. What a pleasure, sir. Thank you, Chef. Bye-bye.
A little food for thought. Food for thought.
This week, we are sitting around at a beach ignoring our families so we can follow news on our phones. And while we're doing that, we thought we'd bring you some favorite bits from recent shows.
Wait, are always on top of the hottest trends, including dining. Here's a Bluff the Lister game from last June.
Hi, Peter. This is Melanie calling from Houston, Texas.
Hey, how are things in Houston?
Things are wet here.
Yeah, so I'm told. Big storm coming in. What do you do there in Houston?
Well, I'm a mom of 2 beautiful boys and a 3rd baby on the way in a few weeks.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I'm a psychotherapist in private practice.
Well, that's great. So, do you think as your training in psychotherapy helped you as a mother?
That's possible.
Well, welcome to the show, Melanie. You're going to play our game of Machine Credit Tell Truth or Fiction. Bill, what is Melanie's topic?
Everybody loves ramen.
Ramen noodles are not just for college kids anymore. You go to any city, you'll see the hip ramen places opening up. They're trendy. They're everywhere. It increases the volume of disgusting mouth movements wherever you go. This week, though, we read a story of someone taking their ramen love to an extreme. Guess the true story with Charles Castle's voice on. Ready to play?
I'm ready.
First, let's hear it from Faith Sailor.
Do you love noodles? Do you love men? Then you love raw men. An instant soup concoction that's all the rage in Iceland. Created by Gunnar Grimson, a Reykjavik-based entrepreneur, Raw Men offers you a steaming bowl of ramen noodles with a special flavor package. It's called the Man Packet. And when ripped open and sprinkled on the hot and meaty broth, it makes your soup smell manly. Meaning like a man. Inhale the redolence of musk, pheromones, and a tangy tinge of sweat that will make you hungry for a hot dish. That's the scent. When you eat it, it tastes like chicken. Raw Men, whose slogan is, umami is your daddy, has become an instant hit with Icelandic women. But it's gay men from all over Europe who are flocking to Raw Men foam parties. Partygoers dust each other with man packets as they dance all night. As one enthusiastic reveler confesses, I try to stay away from carbs, but I can't resist raw men.
Raw men. The instant noodle that smells the way a man should smell. Your next story of Ramen Emmanuel comes from Charlie Pierce.
Some people speak in tongues. Some people speak in slurps. In keeping with the spirit of the famous internet meme deity, the Flying Spaghetti Monster, the campus ministry of Covenant College, a private Christian institution in South Dakota, has inaugurated a weekly communal meal and worship service on campus every Saturday night. The celebrants are required to bring only their faith and a box of noodles when they come to what is now known as the First Church of Ramen. And the service is now playing to a packed house in the basement of the college's student center. Look at the way the Last Supper is described, said Wendy Walters, a Covenant senior who's a regular at the First Church of Ramen. If Jesus and his apostles were alive today, he'd be eating ramen like the rest of us, and maybe ramen would have been a sacrament for 2,000 years. The Reverend Thumps hopes to expand the First Church of Ramen to other colleges and universities, be they specifically Christian institutions or not. We spread the gospel through ramen, and we spread the gospel of ramen, he said. It's the medium through which we bring the message of salvation. Plus, it's good for you.
A ramen sacrament from Charlie Pierce. Your last story of noodles in the news comes from Luke Burbank.
Who doesn't love a piping hot bowl of delicious ramen? No one. That's who. But of course, there's the sodium and the calories you've got to watch out for. Thankfully, though, a man named Ichiro Furuya has come up with an elegant solution. And that solution is submerging people in an even larger bowl of piping hot, delicious ramen. That's right, patrons of Unison Spa House in Hakone, Japan, have taken to soaking in ramen noodle baths, also known as the world's grossest jacuzzis. At a cost of 4,300 yen, or about $35 US, Furuya claims the high levels of collagen in the beef broth improve the skin, while the warm temperatures speed up metabolism. While one American interviewed described the experience as, quote, slimy, photos from the spa house showed smiling Japanese families packed into giant bowls of soup, complete with noodles, broth, and a growing suspicion that those bubbles near Grandpa are not part of the culinary process.
Yeah. All right, Melanie, here are your choices. From Faith Saley Ramen, the instant ramen noodle flavor packet that tastes just like man. From Charlie Pierce, the First Church of Ramen, where ramen has become a religious sacrament. And from Luke Burbank, ramen noodle baths in Japan, where you can actually float in a bowl of ramen for your health and wellness. Which of these is the real story of ramen in the news?
Gosh, as tempting as Luke's story is, I think I'm going to go with Charlie's story about the First Church of Ramen.
The First Church of Ramen.
Yes.
All right. Well, we spoke to someone familiar with this real noodle story.
The actual baths are shaped like ramen bowls, and there are noodles hanging over your head while you bathe.
Oh, no! I agree with you. I agree with that response. That was Erin Moss-Baugh. She is the editor at the food website firstwefeast.com, and she was talking about the horrifying, yet apparently very lovely ramen noodle baths at a spa in Japan.
Wow.
If you've ever wanted to be a fish cake, just floating there, you can do that. So I'm sorry, you didn't win. Frankly, I wouldn't have picked that one because I wouldn't want it to. Melanie, thank you so much for playing with us today. Bye-bye. Last summer, we did our show outdoors in Chicago's Millennium Park in front of up to 20,000 people.
But they weren't there for us. They were there for our guest, Chance the Rapper.
And now the game where we ask very cool people about very lame things. Oh, you're going to work out great, I can tell. Chance the Rapper got his name because nobody would believe a guy named Chancellor Bennett could rap. As far as we see it, he's the king of Chicago hip-hop. Who cares about that Kanye guy? And we are delighted to have him with us today. Chance the Rapper, welcome to the show. Great to be here. Yeah, great to have you. Thank you. So you're a Chicago guy. You grew up on the South Side? Yes, sir. Yeah. And you haven't been growing up for very long. You're only about 23. I'm 22. I'll be 22. Yeah. I'm a young guy. You are? Yeah. And this is the story we heard, which is that you've been performing since you were a kid, right? Yeah. I started out doing talent shows and open mic programs and programs around the city. I've been doing it for a while. We heard you at one point you did a fine Michael Jackson. Wow, that's crazy. That's deep. Yeah, I did do that at my kindergarten graduation. So less than 20 years ago, but yeah, it was pretty recent. So, the story we heard is that if you have an origin story like a superhero, is that you were thrown out of school for a little while. Mm-hmm. You were in high school. Yeah. And you took some time and what did you do? Yeah. So when I was senior in high school, I got suspended for having marijuana around the school. It wasn't even really in the school. It just So I got in trouble for this, for having marijuana, and I was suspended from school. So on that 10-day break, I started recording a project called my debut project, where I put a lot of people on what I was doing. Yeah, and my understanding is you put that on the internet, you worked on it for a while, put it on the internet, was ready, and you did a lot for me, yeah. So you're touring in hip-hop shows, you've put out some albums that have done tremendously well, you're headlining festivals. What would you say now, if he or she were here, to the principal of the high school who suspended you? Well, there's a strong chance that they're here because it's the NPR show. If they're not here, they're listening. No, I'd probably say thank you. Shout out to them for all the inspiration. For throwing you out of school.
Hey,
Chance,
how do you actually compose a rap? Are you so talented that lines just come to you? Or I would have to sit down with a rhyming dictionary and work the bass. But how does it come to you?
That's a great question. I think there's a lot of premeditation, if you will, to make it rap. You gotta sit down, focus on your breathing, do a good workout, push-ups, maybe sit-ups, play cards, think about taxes, think about all the people that you've met, in this life and possibly a past life, if you believe in that. Mm-hmm. And then, you take off your socks and shoes, put a bunch of these in your toes, and you start writing. You got a map.
I should write that down.
Yeah. It's a lot of steps, so you should definitely write that down. You understand that whatever you say about this, everybody here will believe you. Yeah. They'll be going home and I was like, wow, I heard the most amazing thing about this hip-hop. They write it with their feet. Yeah.
Would you please give it to me straight? I'm 46. Is it too late for me to become a rapper?
No, I don't think so. Some people might say it's too soon for you to become a rapper.
There's a certain experience.
Now, I know there's different schools of rap, there's gangster rap, there's West Coast rap. I know that one of your big hits is a song about your grandmother, Sunday Candy. And right now you're wearing a cardigan.
I am.
So I'm thinking, are you like nice boy rap? Or like he's such an...
I'll take that. I'll wear that for sure. I definitely would take nice boy rap. I like to write about whatever is closest to my heart at the time. Yeah, I mean, I'll take nice boy rap for sure, because I think like that's what women are into, nice boy rap.
Figure this out. One of the coolest things that I have read about you is that you grew up idolizing Kanye, right? And you performed with him. You did a couple shows. Did he live up to your expectations?
Yeah, definitely. Kanye West is like one of the greatest human beings of all time. I don't know if you ever heard of him, but he'll tell you.
I'm sorry.
I want to ask you, what is the rhyme that you're most proud of? Like a rhyme that you went, wow, that is really cool, but I just pulled that off.
I wrote this song in the late 80s called Bohemian Rhapsody. And
I think I've heard that.
Yeah, that's one of the ones that I'm most proud of.
All you?
There must be 2 words that you rhyme that you went, oh, like
two words back to back.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a good two, because I'm actually super into that. That people don't use all the time. Recently, I rhymed very recently. I rhymed the word growth with tippy toeser. And
that's great.
Yeah, like if you're there, it's like in context, it's like okay, I see what this guy's doing.
Can I tell you my favorite rhyme? You probably know it. It's from Funny Girl, and one of the characters says, "Well, my heart ain't made of marble, but your rhythm's really horrible." Rhyming marble and horrible.
Yeah.
That's kind of, it's clever.
Well, Chance, we have asked you here to play a game we're calling
Chance the Rapper meets the Ram the Rapper.
So you're a rapper, you're one of the best out there, but you can't keep leftovers fresh. We're going to ask you 3 questions about actually rapping things. If you get 2 right, you'll win on behalf of one of our listeners.
Okay.
So, Bill, who is Chance the Rapper playing for?
Meg Sharma of Chicago, Illinois.
All right. Here is your first question. People like to come up with alternative uses for saran wrap, but one of them, according to scientists, never works. What is it? A, wrapping yourself tightly in saran wrap to lose weight. B, stretching it down a stairway to make an in-home water slide. Or C, eating it so you make a funny crinkling noise when you walk.
I'm sure A is the right one, right?
It is, in fact, yeah. People do this all the time. Doesn't work. Could hurt you if you wrap yourself too tightly. Don't try it. Next question. Cosmopolitan magazine, of course, includes saran wrap in one of their famous sex moves that'll blow his mind articles. What do they recommend you do with saran wrap? A, wrap yourself in saran wrap like leftovers, hide in the refrigerator, and wait until he gets hungry for a midnight snack. B, take nude pictures of yourself for him with saran wrap over the lens so they're blurrier and not quite so accurate. Or C, pull out a long length of saran wrap, twist it into a rope, and tie yourself tightly together and see what you can do.
I'm going to go with B.
You're going to go with B? They say, take the saran wrap, put it over the lens of the camera, and make it blurry, and your flaws might be blurred out.
I feel like that's something Cosmo would tell people to do.
No, Cosmo told them to do C, to tie themselves together with the saran wrap, so you can't move or separate or get up and get out of there. It's totally sexy. All right, this is exciting. Get this last one correct, you win. Sometimes saran wrap can save the day, as when what happened last year in Chile. A mugger on the street was captured by bystanders and held by wrapping him to a lamppost naked with saran wrap. B, a man was saved from a house fire when he jumped into a makeshift saran wrap net. Or C, a desperate surgeon used saran wrap instead of a skin graft, creating the world's first transparent man.
Those are all so ridiculous. D.
D.
No, I'm going to go with A. I think it's A.
It is A, yes! You all did it! Bill, how did Chance the Rapper do in our quiz?
Well, he got 2 out of 3. That means 1 chance.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to make my suggestion, and you tell me if I'm wrong. If people out there listening don't know Chance the Rapper's work yet, a great place to start is the video for Sunday Candy. Not only is it a great song, not only is it really different than what you've seen, but he is quite a dancer. You should check this out. Thank you. Would you agree with that recommendation?
I'd agree with that. Definitely check out Sunday Candy, guys.
Chance the Rapper, thank you so much for joining us here. Chicago's own Chance the Rapper. Give it up.
She can say in her voice, in her way, that she loves me. With her eyes, with her smile, with her belt, with her hands, with her money. I am the pieces of her baby, the nieces and her nephews are just pieces of the layers. Only one she loves as much as me is Jesus Christ and Taylor. I got a feature song singing for my grandma. You sing it too, but your grandma ain't my grandma. Mine's is handmade, pan-fried, sun-dried, southside, and beat the double by landslide, praying with a hand stop.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, Bill. These days, it seems like all the news is about Donald Trump. So we're going to travel back in time and hear what it sounded like when there were other things in the news.
Let's do it quick before there's a ban on Muslim time travel as well.
Roxanne, good news. Bloomberg News reports that senior citizens are more active than ever. Specifically, senior citizens are doing a whole lot more what?
Having sex. They're not?
I wouldn't know. I'm not yet that old. Here's your hint could be, I want 20,000 unmarked large print bills.
Robbing banks?
Robbing banks, apparently.
No,
What the
really?
senior citizens are up to.
Wait.
Grandma apparently wants her first filled finally with something other than crumpled up Kleenexes and cough drops. According to Bloomberg News, there's a big rise in bank and jewel heists by senior citizens. Most notable is Germany's Grandpa Gang. They robbed 12 banks and they nearly botched one of their getaways because, and this is true, one of the desperados had to keep stopping to pee. You gotta pull over. We just stopped. No, I gotta pull over.
Why
the police are right in our tail.
Well, criminals grow old too.
It's true. I'm not gonna learn a new
But I don't
trick.
think it's like old people suddenly turn bad. It's like bad people suddenly turn old.
Until our producers accept my idea for the listener book-length epic poem challenge, we're going to keep playing limericks. Here's a favorite game from a couple of years back.
Hi, wait, don't tell me.
Hello, how do you do? This is Bennett Moon coming out of Athens, Georgia by way of Columbia, Tennessee.
Whoa! You sound like a late night DJ. Is your name really Bennett Moon?
Yeah, and believe it or not, my parents were not hippies, quite the opposite, law and politics. So I came out with a strange name to just fool all of you.
Bennett, welcome to the show. Bill Curtis is going to read you 3 news-related limericks with the last word or phrase missing from each. Your job, just fill in that last word or phrase, or